It's the 4th of July and I hope you're having a beautiful morning. Welcome to the morning updates show. My name is Vicky Kipto.
And I am Abona Riri. Remember, you can interact with us on our social media handles, Faraja TV Kenya, Facebook, Faraja TV Media, YouTube, faraja.tv.media. Instagram, you can find us at faraja_TV_Kenya, and our SMS line is 0703339959.
Also remember to tell us your name and where you're watching us from. And in our news review segment, I'll start with the Standard newspaper, and the news that is making headlines is Senate to Ruto, rid yourself of excess baggage. Also, senators, while debating the state of the nation, told the president that for him to ride out the protest storm, he needs to fire the cabinet and advisors, drop the CAS idea, and disband unconstitutional offices. You can find that story on pages 4. Also, there are opinions of Boni Halwale, who's the senator of Kakamega County, and he says, I call on the president to disband the cabinet and reconstitute it afresh, do away with the Chief Administrative Secretary office of the First Lady. Also, there are opinions of Aaron Cheriot, who's the Senate Majority Leader and also the Senator of Kericho County, and he says the Senate wants the National Police Service to cease abductions, unlawful arrest, extrajudicial killings, and excise restraint. Also, according to Sifuna, who's the Nairobi County Senator, he says he's calling for an audit for all cases that have been withdrawn by the Director of Public Prosecution. Yeah.
Yes, also we can see the same story is making news on the Daily Nation newspaper. Yeah, reshuffle. Anxiety has gripped top officials in both the executive and parliament. Yeah, jitters as Ruto cabinet purge looms. Yeah, keen to usage widespread disaffection among the youth who have taken the country hostage with mass demonstrations. President William Ruto is said to be planning a major shakeup of his executive in a move that will see some ministers and PSs moved or sent packing. You can find that story on page 4 and page 5. We can also see that why some MPs fear to visit their constituencies. Yes, the short recess for members of parliament, which started last week and runs to July 22nd, is turning out to be one of a kind, especially for lawmakers who voted in favor of the Finance Bill 2024 that has been withdrawn. You can find that story on page 3.
And going back to the story which is making headlines today, about the senators rejecting the pay rise, and also they want the number of CSS to be reduced from 21 to 14. And Majority Senate Leader Aaron Cheriot yesterday said that he thinks the best that this government should do is to start afresh by scrapping the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. And also the Kenya Kwanza allied senators took the front line in attacking the government over its insensitivity to the suffering of civilians, even as they demand the scrapping of superfluous posts such as that of the First Lady, spouse of the Deputy President, as well as that of Chief Cabinet Secretary for being outside the Constitution. Senate Majority Leader Aaron Cheriot said that it was disturbing that some cabinet secretaries were engaging in politics even as they failed to deliver on their dockets given to them by the president, while key sectors like public schools had collapsed. Also, Senate Majority Whip Boni Halwale said the cabinet was beyond redemption and warned the president against trying to patch it up, saying the best thing will to reconstitute it. And also, Halwale said, and he called the president to disband the cabinet and reconstitute it afresh, to do away with the chief administrative secretary office and office of the first lady, do away with other unnecessary public offices, and also fire the inspector general and presidential advisors for incompetence.
Yes, also we can see that on the rise of top officials' salary, the president also said he wanted the Gazette. Yeah, Dr. Ruto wants her Gazette notice number 10346, dated August 9th, 2023, issued by the Salaries and Remunerations Commission, CRC, suspended in the wake of the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024. Yeah, the new pay structure was to take effect from 1st July. Yeah, this month, the beginning of this month. Yes, but we also see that the president has taken, and he has said, in light of the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024, the fiscal constraints expected this financial year. The president has emphasized that that this is a time more than ever before for the executive and all arms of government to live within their means. Yes.
And also, the same story is making headlines on the Standard newspaper, and it reads, "No pay rise for MPs. Government officials yesterday fell over themselves to deny any role in a salary increase notice for elected leaders, with the executive and other senior members saying the timing is not right as budgets are being trimmed." You can find that story on page 6. And also, July 1st was the date the salary increment for senior government officials was supposed to start. The raise has been stopped. And yesterday, during the national proceeding that was going on in the parliament, we saw MPs coming out and rejecting salary hikes. Also, CRC said that no salary increment to all public servants. This follows public uproar. And you know, I think the public were waiting
To
for the MPs, the senators, the governors to accept the pay rise so that they can come after them, especially in this period where the finance bill was rejected, and we've had the president many times saying that we should live beyond our means, and I think it was a good move by the politicians to
reject
the increment of the salary.
Yes, they actually proposed the withdrawal of the pay rise. Yes. So we can also see that even during yesterday's proceeding, that is when also we came to find out that there is a plan, or maybe something is coming up, in the cabinet.
In the cabinet.
Yeah, some CSS are going to be, maybe they'll be reshuffled, and others maybe may be moved, or some may be sent packing. They might be sent home.
Yeah, and then some of the senators want the number of CSS to reduce from 21 to 14. And also, remaining with the salary increment issue, the CRC chairperson Lynn Mengich took an about turn and freezed the upward review of salaries during a press briefing yesterday. The commission's chairperson Lynn Mengich said the decision was necessitated by the realities of the economy and emerged fiscal constraints. She says, and I quote, "In consultation with the National Treasury, CRC hereby freezes the upward review of salaries for all state offices and will review the advice for all other public officers," end of quote. Also, yesterday, State House spokesperson Hussein Mohammed said the National Treasury had been directed to review the CRC's Gazette notice in light of the withdrawal of the Finance Bill 2024 and the fiscal constraint expected this financial year. Also, he said in a quote, in his X platform, that the president has emphasized that this is a time more than ever before for the executive and all arms of government to live within their means, end of quote. And also you should know that the National Assembly Speaker were to get a pay raise from 1,185,327 to 1,208,362. Also, Senate Speaker was to get a pay rise from 1,185,327 to 1,208,362. Also, governors were to get a pay rise from 957,000 to 990,000. Also, county assembly speaker their salaries were to increase from 537,000 to 549,000. Also, the MCAs were to get a salary increase from 154,481 to 164,588. But they have come out rejecting the pay rise. Do you think it's a good cause?
Yes, of course, considering the interview, during the interview, the president on Sunday, yes, the president said that he wants to reduce the amount of money and the amount of expenditure they are using, starting with the house, with the state house. And so if they reject the pay rise and they reduce even the number of the PSAs, as we've seen them discussing, I think it will be doing whatever he said he'll do. Yes, we can also see that jitters in cabinet amid reports of purge and reshuffle. We can see that a lot of members of parliament yesterday during the proceeding called for the president to reduce the size of his cabinet from 21 to 14. Yes, and merge departments. Others suggested that he should merge departments and reduce the number of PSS from 51 to 21 or 14 to match the number of CSS. Also, the size of the cabinet. They debated that the size of the cabinet of the US is 15 with a population of more than 340 million people, while China has a population of more than 1.5 billion, and the members of the state council who are equivalent to the cabinet secretary are 26. And they were even asking what are we doing currently in Kenya with 21 CSS with a population of less than 60 million.
And also you should remember we have more than 50 PSs. So I think
there are 51.
Yeah, if the number is reduced.
Yes, and actually they argued that the country, the economy cannot support such an expenditure, because you can even see like with the amount of salaries they are getting. Yes, so these are some of the things that they discussed during the proceeding. I also saw some Kenyans arguing on X that how can a member of parliament be earning more than the vice president of the US? Yes, so I think probably that is why they also decided to withdraw the pay rise for this year.
And also Chief Justice has suspended the hiring or the recruitment of 11 new judges of appeal as a way to reduce expenditure. Also, Treasury advised Judiciary to reduce expenditure by 15%. And I think the Judiciary, the Executive, the Legislative are looking for ways of how they are going to reduce the expenditure so that we can live within our means. And I want to quote the Chief Justice, Martha Koome, who said, and I quote, "This directive has far-reaching consequences on the operations of the judiciary and the Judiciary Service Commission. Regrettably, this has necessitated the decision by the Judiciary Service Commission to suspend all pending recruitments, including the 11 judges of the Court of Appeal, which was scheduled to commence today, end of quote. Also, she said that currently the Court of Appeal has a total of 29 judges serving in only 6 stations across the country, which translates to 9 benches at any given time. The court had a total of 13,331 pending cases as at May 2024.
Yes.
So they're not going to hire or to recruit the 11 judges that were scheduled to commence today.
Yes, so that they can also reduce the
expenditure. And also, also I said earlier that the Treasury directed the judiciary to reduce the expenditure by 15%.
Yes, we can also see that there's uncertainty. It was not clear if the president will consult his deputy in making the changes, even as it emerged that Gachagua, his DP, has not made any appearance at State House for the past 2 weeks amid escalating political strife. Yes, so there's a little bit of uncertainty in the House. Yes,
Issues.
because the DP has not made any appearance to the State House since the past 2 weeks, since we can say since the demonstration started. Because we even saw his speech. He was making his speech in Mombasa, in a different county from where the president was.
And also there was contradictions between the speech of the deputy president and the president, where on the other hand the president was saying something else, and on the other hand the deputy president, they were not speaking the same language the way they should. And also yesterday the deputy president was in Laikipia County, where he attended the burial of his eldest sister, Leah Wangari Muruki. Gachagua said the government is formulating a mechanism to ensure the issues raised by the youth were addressed. The DP urged Gen Z to call off the anti-government demos, and he said that he understands that young people are frustrated and have a right to protest and make their voices heard. However, it's clear that these demonstrations have been taken over by shady figures, which we've seen with bad intentions, as was witnessed yesterday during on Tuesday during the demonstration. Also, the president also a deputy president said that the president is ready to listen to the youth, and mechanisms are in place to ensure this happens. And he says that we only have one country, so he pleads with us sons and daughters to stay away from violence, especially in this time when the country is facing difficult times. Also, the DP urged the Gen Z to call off the anti-government demos that has been infiltrated by criminals, and now many business people are counting loss. Their properties were looted, their businesses were vandalized. They don't know where to start. And I saw a businessman yesterday crying, saying that he doesn't know where to start because everything had been stolen.
Yes, we also saw that the DP also said that the young people should be open to dialogue with the president on the X. Yes, we can also see that moments of reckoning as ground shifts for MPs who backed the bill. Yes, the finance bill backlash. President praised them as heroes, but critics branded them sellouts.
Sell out, but they were praised by the president, saying, and during the Sunday interview, the president said that they are the heroes of this country for supporting the finance bill. And also in Azimio la Umoja ODM party, there are some members who supported the finance bill. And in the Standard, it's also the story making headlines, and it reads, Azimio demands snap elections for errant MPs. And some of the MPs that are going to face the wrath of Azimio la Umoja, Gideon Ochanda, the MP for Bondo, Elisha Odhiambo, the MP for Gem, Karoli Omondi, the MP for Suba South, Emmanuel Wangwe, the MP of Navaholo, Memusi Kanchori, the MP of Kajiado Central, and Bernard Shinali, the MP of Ikolomani.
Yes, and as the president praised the members of parliament and called them the heroes of this country, well, the heroes of this country, they are afraid to go back to their constituencies.
They are afraid to face the people.
Yeah. So we don't know why the heroes of this country are afraid to go back to their constituencies and are even afraid to, they are keeping off from social events and they're even afraid to be seen by the public.
But some of them apologize.
Even if they apologize, there are some people who said that they already voted yes.
I think it's the time for us to give them a chance because no matter what, they're still in the office.
Yeah.
And it's going to take time. 2027 is not near. Yes, it's near, but it's not near. I think it's good if we give them a chance to explain themselves, and also but you know, this generation, the Gen Z, want to see actions. They are tired of apologies and telling them that this is what you are going to do. And this is not, we are not going to do. So what they need is action. And I think when you start doing your work the way you are supposed to, the way the people elected you to, then things are going to change. And even those people that are your constituents that are disappointed at you are going to change their mind.
Yes, and we also see that Mr. Mwalika said, he said it is a bad sign when voters who elected their representatives to parliament turn against them and even hold demonstrations in their homes. Yeah, these people don't forget. I can tell you that by just saying yes, some MPs have lost 50% of the votes they got, and it will be a tall order to get them back. Yes, so clearly we can see that a lot of people lost confidence in their members of parliament, and that is why we saw even some demonstrations. Yeah, they were taken to the homes of the MPs and they even burnt them. We can also see that the leaders found themselves on the wrong side of history after the President, William Ruto, declined to assent to the bill following public uproar and sustained street protests led by the Gen Zs. Yeah, the members of parliament have kept off social events for fear of being confronted by voters, and neither can they seek refuge in parliament, which suffered extensive damage after being overrun by anti-tax protesters. Yeah, renovations haven't started. They haven't started. And we can also see that even the journalists are not yet allowed to access the parliament currently. Yeah.
And as the protest is ongoing, I'm not sure if we're going to have demonstrations today, but people are still counting losses. And a businessman or a business owner in Mombasa, who is the owner of Cafe Restaurant, has lost to almost 18 million Kenya shillings.
Yes, we can also see that there's a story here. 22 people were admitted with gunshot wounds in Kitengela on Tuesday. Yes, at least 24 anti-government protesters were admitted to Kitengela Sub-County Hospital with bullets lodged in their bodies. There was pandemonium in Kitengela town on Tuesday when goons suspected to have been ferried from elsewhere turned the anti-tax protest into a looting spree. Yeah, as from 3 p.m. police officers responded by firing tear gas at the looters as they tried to disperse the rowdy youth. In the aftermath of the mayhem, 38 people were admitted to the hospital. So as you are saying that a lot of businesses were destroyed, we can also see that even in Kitengela, a lot of businesses were looted, some things were stolen, and also I think it's 38 people were hurt. Yeah, they were wounded.
And business people are at a loss. And also remaining with the demonstration, 185 Kenyans arrested to remain in police custody. Suspects links to chaos and destruction of property. Also, DCI releases a list of 40 most wanted protesters. And during an interview by Citizen TV yesterday, Adan Duale spoke about the issue, and he said that whatever happened on Tuesday have never been seen in this country. And also he said that criminal gangs had infiltrated the protest. The CHES also sympathize with families that lost their loved ones. And he said that institutions created by Constitution, e.g. State House, Parliament and Supreme Court were under attack. And as demonstration was going on, we saw hashtag as Occupy Parliament, Occupy State House. And also he talked about, and he gave us a reason to why there were deployment of KDF in the streets of Kenya. And he says the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya orders the military to come in such situation to maintain law and order in any other part of the country whose peace is threatened.
Yes, we can also see that on page 6 and 7 of the Daily Nation. 185 suspects were seized in Tuesday demos arraigned in Milimani. Yeah, there's even a photo of the suspects who have been taken to court. They are in court, and they were seized in Tuesday during this week, Tuesday's demonstrations. Yes, and also how goons turned peaceful protest to bloody spectacle. Yeah, there was a statement made by one of the protesters who started way early, like 3 weeks before when the protest started.
When the protest was still peaceful.
Yes, and she said that she started on the 25th of June. Yeah, the day protest stormed Parliament. That is on, I think it's on Tuesday.
Last week.
Yeah. She ended her participation in the protest and left for home at 1 p.m. much earlier than she had initially planned. Yes, there was something terrifying about some of the faces of the protesters. They looked fishy, weird, menacing. Yeah, they were not the Gen Zs she had come to join in projecting their voices against the Finance Bill 2024. Yeah, so she said that most of the people who were there during the protest, like you could see them, they were armed with whistles, with the
placards,
and with the Kenyan flag
and even
and water.
Dressed. Yeah.
Yes, but on Tuesday they realized that there were some different looking people.
The face of the people protesting had changed.
Yeah,
they looked like criminals.
Yes.
The way they
like they were fishy.
Yeah, and even they carried, some of them carried stones.
Exactly.
And it was like they were ready to involve themselves in running battles with the police. Also, some of them were seen to have pliers. So it means that they are going for the demonstration with an intention to destroy loot or to get into other people's businesses and to damage it.
Yes, also another statement made by one of the protesters also, they looked like thugs. Yeah, like when you looked around, they looked like thugs. They were not the same people who are protesting from the first week. Yeah, these were different kind of people. Yes, and I think that is why we've also seen the reduction in the number of the protests, of the people on the streets protesting. Yes, because I think people have realized, hey, we are still not protesting. This is not a peaceful protest. These are different kind of people. We are not here as Gen Zs. We are here with thugs. They are goons.
And I think that is why the Gen Z did not come out the way they came out last week to protest because of fear. Because some of them said that they are even fearing their lives. Maybe some of the criminals will start stealing their phones and the things that they have.
Yes, and I also remember that during the first week of the protest, while most of the Gen Zs were taking interviews in the various media houses, they were saying this this was the first time the constitution was followed. It's like people, the public came out and they protested in a peaceful manner. Exactly, but clearly we can see that since now the Gen Zs are not involved, there are some other criminals or goons or
who've taken the advantage.
Yes.
And also another story that is making headlines on the Standard is JSS teachers money who's add to schools protest anxieties. You can find that story on page 11. Also, AG flags shady deals in KAA audit. You can find that story on the business page 18. 120,000 babies stolen in Georgia. You can find that story on World page 22. Also, if you are a sport enthusiast, you can find the sports story on page 40 where it says pressure piles as Euro gets to quarters.
Yes, and on that note, you can also continue interacting with us on our social media handles. Yes, remember we told you you can text us, you can send us an SMS, you can tell us where you're watching us from, tell us your name and what part of the show you like. Yes, we are taking a short break, but we'll be back with another segment.
We'll be talking about the effects of social media on children. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m., I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959. na various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts. Your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And of course, Mickey Omchambulis.
And Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sports Buzz.
Ujambo mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu ndani ya Fahamu Siasa na Wanasiasa. Hapa tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala ya katiba, uchumi na teknolojia. Vile vile utaweza kufahamu na kujua kazi ya mjumbe wako, seneta wako, MCA wako kila siku ya Jumatatu na Alhamisi kuanzia mida ya saa 3 hadi saa 5. Ukiletewa nami Peter Muhoro. Usikose kutazama Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Siku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night Lord.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa zote ni kwako ewe Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunawaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the word.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili. Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na hii mtazamaji wetu utapenda. Kutakuwa na a lot of fun yenye wewe mwenyewe huwezi miss.
I will be your host, Jack Favor.
And I, your co-host, Caroline Jerry.
Alongside DJ Tish.
Every Sunday.
From 6 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
Nuru ya Injili, only at Faraja TV.
What's happening?
It's showtime!
Oh, okay, let's go.
This is Gospel Link Up. Kuanzia saa 4 mpaka saa 7 kila Jumapili at Faraja TV with me, The Ramses, alongside
DJ XDs.
Alright, hii ni kosa kukosa wewe.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha. Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Of social media on on everyone, on our children, on adults, because social media is something that is affecting everyone, the aged, the underaged, the overaged. There's something like that. Yes, and also remember you can interact with us.
On Facebook, Faraja TV Kenya, YouTube, Faraja TV Media, TikTok, faraja.tv.media, Instagram, Faraja_TV_Kenya. Also, you can send us your SMS. Our SMS number is 0703339959. And remember to tell us where you're watching us from and your name. Also, we have the question of the day.
Yes. Do you think social media has done more damage or good? Yes. Do you think that social media has done more damage or good? Yeah. So if it's good, you can say, maybe you can give us an example on your take. And if it's damage, you can also give us your example. And remember, our SMS line is on the screen. Yes. So you can SMS us. You can tell us where you're watching us from and if you're enjoying the show. Yes, so today we are talking about how social media has affected the society, but we are leaning more towards children, how it has affected the children. Yeah, because this is something that we've seen. If you have a kid at home, you've seen how social media is affecting them. Yes, and earlier on, during our research, we found out that kids are more likely to lean towards which app?
TikTok.
Exactly, TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah, so TikTok is the most common app to
famous, popular among children.
Yes.
And also in our Did You Know segment, our Did You Know of today is what we want you to know. It's about social media, and social media refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share and exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. I repeat, social media refers to the means of interactions among people in which they create, share or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. And examples of social media platforms or apps are TikTok, Facebook, we have WhatsApp, X, Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yeah, there are a lot of apps.
Others are not. Amazon.
There's also there are a lot of game apps which help us connect with other people. It's like you can play with somebody who is even far. Yeah. So now let's get into it. Social media and how it has affected our children. Yes, and we've seen like the most common app among the children is TikTok. Yes. So can we say that maybe the children, it has affected even the development of the children in maybe some ways, and maybe somehow it has affected them. It has affected them positively
and negatively.
Yes. So there are some positive effects of social media on the kids, and there's also some negative. Yes. There are two sides to the coin.
And you should know that social media is the invention of the 21st century, and people see that social media has come in a good time. And we've seen people using social media for various reasons. Some of them have used social media in their businesses where they market their business. Others have used even during the campaigns. It was one of the means of communication that they use, especially when they wanted to reach a larger audience.
And also the protests themselves, we've seen have the message that even the protests, for them to happen, it was something that started on social media. Even the hashtag reject the finance bill, it's something that started on social media.
Exactly.
And then it spread to the ground.
And also we've used the social media in education. Nowadays we have online studies.
Online classes.
You may be here in Kenya and you're studying online in a university in the US. So it has facilitated learning. You can learn from anywhere without going there physically, sitting down and listening to the lectures.
So we can say these are some of the positive effects of social media. And I think social media sometimes makes work easier. Yeah, it makes work easier a lot. Because look at even something like passing information to a large number of people. It's easier. Even we can see businesses have used social media to advertise so that they can reach a mass of people compared to maybe if you go door to door or if you're trying to get a message passed from one county to another. Yeah, and it also reduces the cost. Social media reduces the cost. Yeah, with just one tweet.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, it's better. One tweet has reached a lot of people compared to you trying to move from one county to another. And let us also look at the evolution of how communication before even social media
came.
Yeah. How the things have changed from, remember in the olden ages, we used to read even in our books, in our history books, sending messengers. It's like if something has happened in Nakuru and you need to reach a relative in Mombasa, you are sending a messenger. And there are no cars. Remember, there are no cars, so they have to walk.
Or to run.
Or you even use donkeys.
Imagine from one village to another, and that will take years or even days for the message to reach the intended person. And again, also,
I
the
think
messenger will sometimes forget the message because we are human beings.
It's like the messenger has arrived at Nairobi, they've forgotten the message. Or even something bad might happen to the messenger, so the message will never get to the intended person.
For example, attacked by a wild animal.
Or even the messenger might go and just decide to change their plan.
The message.
Yeah, it's like
say something else.
Or even they might even arrive at maybe somewhere, maybe at Nairobi if they're heading to Mombasa. And then they decide, let me just get married and stay. So we can also see that even smoke was used in the olden ages. Yes. And I think smoke, it's something that maybe you are not trying to reach a lot of people, but you're trying to announce something that has happened in your home state. So it's like it's just for your neighbors and people living a bit far from you, but they are just around your neighborhood.
But for now, things have changed. By one tweet, you know whatever is happening.
Yeah, and you can call people, even people who are in other countries, you can call them and communicate.
A video call.
Yeah, there's snapping. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. There's WhatsApp. Yeah, there are just a lot of things that makes communication easier.
Yeah, and that is why we've said that the social media has made the world to be a global village. Because whatever is happening, you are here in Kenya, but you know whatever is happening in the US, you know whatever is happening in Israel, in China. Without literally going there. By just scrolling your phone, you just know, especially I think in TikTok, you will just know. At about 10 minutes, you know whatever is happening in Kenya, in Africa, in the world.
Yes. And even Google, you can just Google, what is this thing I'm hearing about reject finance bill? And then
it gives you information about it.
Exactly, because we've also seen other countries, they that's what they said. They saw that the hashtag was trending.
And they started supporting.
Searching. Yeah, it's like, what is this? And then they learned, so Kenya, they have this finance bill that they are trying to reject. So I think these are some of the positive effects of social media. And we cannot overlook them because clearly they are making our lives easier, and they've also created jobs for people, and also
online jobs.
And I think technology is taking a further and further notch. It's like we are still developing, we are still moving.
Evolving.
So it's like the technological era has arrived, because right now currently I don't think a child who is living in this generation can relate to somebody who lived like 20 years ago, like while they were younger, or even a child who maybe lived in the era of the Mau Mau fighters. I mean, before independence and after independence. Yes, so we can see it's also creating a difference. Now let's get into kids. Can we say that social media has exposed our kids to a lot of information? It's like, you know, when you're exposed to something that a lot of information and some information, like some of us, maybe growing up, we didn't know a lot of things and we were not exposed to such information.
Compared to them, because you find that a 2-year-old child can, they don't know, they actually know how to navigate the phone. They even have the password. They know how to switch on the phone, to switch off the phone, and they are young. So you can imagine the information that they start consuming in their young age.
Yeah, and I also think even the cartoons that they watch, the animations that they watch, they also have a message that they are trying to pass through. So it's like you find kids know a lot of things even through things that they watch, because we can say that even the younger children, like maybe 5 years and below, maybe they don't know how to use the phone, but they know how to watch. They can just, you can play something and then they will sit down and be watching it, and they know maybe how to play games. Yes, so I can also say that the information is good and also bad.
But the information must be limited.
Yeah, because exposing children to a lot of information, you can also expose children to a lot of maybe sexual content, a lot of content that is harmful, also even something that supports violence, and you also find that your child is growing up becoming a violent person.
And recently there was a cartoon that created a public uproar where they said that the cartoon was promoting homosexuality.
And I think this one, on the cartoons, on the animations that are promoting homosexuality, also they are also trying to pass a message to kids. And also we can see that even kids, they know things about this. Nowadays kids know about homosexuality,
and they're not even surprised when they hear about it or when they see about it. And you ask yourself, where did they learn about it, and you've never told them
it's
about
true.
And I believe even in schools, they are not taught, especially in their early age, about homosexuality.
Yes, and also I think it just exposes children to a lot of things. Even in Kenya currently, we can see that a lot of kids know about the finance bill. They know about what is happening in the country because they've
seen the latest music.
They know, they've seen it on social media. They've heard it on social media. They even know like the slangs. That's adults. I think even some, it has also affected in terms of communication. Some children even are using curse words to communicate, because that is something that they've been
learned
seeing
through the social media.
On social media. They've been seeing on TikTok, on Instagram.
And you know, they've seen other children doing it, so they think that it's okay. If they can do it, I can also do it. If they can say it, I can also say it.
Yes. So I think exposing children to a lot of information at a very early age, it's something that can cause harm to the children, and it can also it can also be positive at some point, because some information, it educates. When you inform somebody, you've already educated them and they've become aware. But we can also see that a lot of children also engage in a lot of sexual activities because of the information,
that they get.
You even find children nowadays know about contraceptives. They know a lot of things that I'm like, hey, if I was at this age, at my age, I didn't know these things.
They've been exposed to the issues.
Yes. Can we also say that social media has affected maybe the behavior of the children? Like in terms of maybe their social life. We can even go to social life. The way they behave, it's different compared to maybe before social media era. Yes.
They now mature very fast than when the social media was not there.
Because normally a child nowadays will prefer to have a phone, they play a game,
and play with their friends,
than to go outside and play with their friends. A child nowadays will prefer to have a phone or even watch cartoon the whole day, stay in the house than go outside and be climbing trees and falling down. And like our days, we used to play.
And also another effect, negative effect on social media is cyberbullying, and online communication has led to a growing trend of cyberbullying, particularly on social media and messaging platforms. It spreads fear and shame among people and may have undesirable effects on children. We've seen this, and most of the time, especially even among celebrities, because there's a time a celebrity posted her children, and the public started body shaming the child.
Yeah, it's true.
That the child is overweight. I don't know, what are you feeding your children?
Yeah, they might even bully them on their looks. They can start saying, why is your child too dark? Why is your child why does the lips or the child doesn't look like the father
or the mother?
Yeah, or they might even start saying the child looks like another man who is not the father. Yeah, this is what social media can do. It can even damage marriages. It can damage relationships. Yeah, and we always say the internet never forgets.
It never forgets.
Yeah,
and
so if it's out there, even when the child grows up, they will see it. They will see it at some point.
And it may cause mental health issues, because once you start seeing things like that, people body shaming, people calling you names, you may be depressed. And you know, depression is a mental health issue that may even result to suicide.
Yes, it's true. And we can also see that this doesn't only affect our children. Remember, it also affects us. Like even us, when somebody sends you a bad comment on social media, maybe it's a pic of yourself that you've posted and then somebody is trying to body shame you, or maybe like they are just trying to bully you, to cyberbully you. You always get affected, and it always affects our mental health. So how about a child?
A child.
Yeah.
And they're still growing, they're still maturing. They don't know to control themselves, and even they are not in the right age to control the information that they are consuming.
Yes. Can we also say that maybe social media makes you have a mentality, especially on the children? Like maybe this is how my body should look like, because they've seen maybe models, they've seen a lot of things on social media.
And people liking their body size, and commenting positive.
So it's like maybe this is the beauty standard. This is like when you grow up and you know this is the beauty standard, you're always trying to look like the beauty standard. So it's like it has affected our children because they have a view of what maybe beauty is perceived as. In social media. Even sometimes it can cause pressure to, like, you know, when children watch things and they're always demanding their parents to give them. It's like, oh, mom, I want something like this. Dad, I want something like this. I've seen it on social media and everyone is doing it. I want this kind of hairstyle. I've seen it on social media and everyone is doing it. Yes. So it can also cause pressure towards the parents financially. Yes.
Exactly. And also excessive use of technology and the internet, including gaming addiction, internet addiction, can hinder children's productivity by consuming significant amounts of their time without engaging in meaningful activities. These addictions may adversely affect their physical health.
Yes, I think this is why we've had a lot of people. I've had a lot of parents saying they always manage their children's screen time. Yeah, so it's like you just have a specific time where you allow your kids to use the phone, if it's iPhones, laptops, or even like watch TV, and then it's like after that time is over, they have to go back to their normal routine.
But I've seen children who are addicted to social media and they just can't stay without having phones. And when even they're young, but when their parents take phones from them, they start crying, and until their parents give back the phone, that is when they stop crying. So I think the addiction, the internet addiction is real, and as parents, parents should look for ways to regulate the times their children are spending on social media. And also because they are spending more time on the social media, they don't have time to interact with their friends, to interact with their parents. They don't have a social life at all, because their best friends he's now the phone.
Yeah. I think it's also true. Can we also say that sometimes the failure on that part is maybe on the parent side? Because sometimes you see when you are a parent and maybe you are trying to get some time. Nowadays, like we all know that when you have a kid, or maybe you have like 3 kids, 3 toddlers, or maybe even like you have young kids who are from 5 upwards, and you are trying maybe to do something and they are always distracting you. You might just decide, let me put the TV on, let me give them the phone so that they can play. I can get some
give
time.
you the peace of mind.
Yeah, or even I can get some time to do this and that. Maybe it's a responsibility, and without knowing it, you find your children are addicted to social media and using the phones. While it was something that you were just trying to do so that you can get time to take up other responsibilities. Yeah, so that is why we are saying as the parent, we should be able to manage the screen time of the children, or even as an adult, you should be able to manage screen time of children.
Well said, Emma. We are taking a short break, but when we come back, we are going to look at the positive and also the negative ways that the social media has affected people, especially children. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back.
Yeah.
Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha.
Well, what is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori, ninaokuletea program ya uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu, na programu yetu ya kujia mnamo siku ya kila Jumapili saa 1:30 katika runinga yetu ya Faraja TV, Chemichemi ya Furaha. Karibu sana, karibu pamoja, tushirikiane katika uzima wa kiroho na nidhamu. Karibuni na mbarikiwe sana. God bless you. God see you through.
Welcome to the greatest sporting show in the 254. That is the Sports Blast show on Faraja TV, where we'll be bringing you all the discussion and all updates according to sports and sports events.
And of course, we look forward to engaging and interacting with you on our various platforms,
which are on Faraja TV Kenya at Facebook, Faraja TV Media at YouTube, and our SMS line 0703 339959, and our various competitions and events of the sporting sphere.
Remember to catch us live each and every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 5 p.m. whereby I'll be joined by 3 great co-hosts, your boy Big Man Kyuga,
and of course, Mickey Omchambuliv.
And Lefty Jizitisa Mgongoni.
One final lung-busting stride for Kipchoge.
So don't miss out on Sport Buzz.
Ujambo mpenzi mtazamaji, karibu ndani ya Fahamu Siasa na Wanasiasa. Hapa tutakuwa tunaangazia masuala ya katiba, uchumi na teknolojia. Vile vile utaweza kufahamu na kujua kazi ya mjumbe wako, seneta wako, MCA wako kila siku ya Jumatatu na Alhamisi kuanzia mida ya saa 3 hadi saa 5. Ukiletewa nami Peter Mohoro. Usikose kutazama Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
Siku na mchana nakupa sifa, day and night, Lord.
Indeed, tunakupa sifa zote ni kwako ewe Mungu. This is Nuru ya Injili Gospel Show, ambapo tutakuwa tunawaletea amazing guests, amazing artists, inspired ministers of the word.
And we shall be having interesting conversations. It shall be hot, it shall be fire, it shall be rejuvenating right here at Nuru ya Injili. Of course, hii si ya kukosa. Kutakuwa na mixes kali, new song, new bangers, na hii mtazamaji wetu utapenda. Kutakuwa na a lot of fun yenyewe mwenyewe huwezi miss.
I will be your host, Jack Favor.
And I, your co-host, Caroline Jerry. Alongside DJ Tish.
Every Sunday.
From 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Nuru ya Injili, only at Faraja TV.
What's happening?
It's showtime!
Oh, okay, let's go.
This is Gospel Link Up. Kuanzia saa 4 mpaka saa 7 kila Jumapili at Faraja TV with me, The Ramses, alongside
DJ XDs.
Alright, hii ni kosa kukosa wewe.
Faraja TV, chemichemi ya furaha.
#59, and also Instagram you can find us Faraja_TV_Kenya, TikTok Faraja.tv.media, YouTube Faraja TV Media, and Facebook Faraja TV Kenya. Yes, and Vicky?
I'll read SMS.
Yeah.
And hello, ni William Ukoaje. Hi, Faraja TV. Ni William from Faraja from Free Area. Hi to good morning, Emma and Vicky. This is Vincent watching from Syokimau Estate, Machakos County. Social media is important to children of the current generation because it helps to reach them what cannot be taught in classes by the school syllabus. Yeah. And also shout out to Vincent, who is watching us right now.
Yes. Thank you, our viewers. Continue sending in your SMS, your opinions. How do you think social media has done more damage or good? And also continue watching. Yes, we have an amazing program lined up for you. And we were talking about social media or affecting our kids. Yes, and as we said earlier, there are advantages and there are also disadvantages. And we saw that some of the advantages of social media on the children is that they get to learn, and also, as also one person has commented, they also get to learn outside the syllabus, something that they are not taught in schools. And this is some of the advantage, because I feel like even in our in older days, and also in the past years, a lot of things could have been better, or maybe we could have understood better some topics
if there was social media.
Yes.
Because nowadays we have tutorials, especially in YouTube, where you can just go and click and learn. And even the teacher who is teaching is not from your country. I've seen especially many teachers from India teaching about a math concept that you did not understand, or chemistry. And you will realize after watching it, you even you understand better, because you know you can
it's
keep
to
going
remember.
back. If you've not understood, you will keep on going back until you understand, which is different, because you cannot keep on telling your teacher I've not understood.
Yeah, it's true, because I also remember even our teachers way back, even in high school and even in primary, when we used to say we haven't understood this topic, sometimes they'll be like, okay, we'll continue next week, we'll continue our next class,
or look for somebody who's understood and ask them to help you understand it. So it has really helped, especially in education matters.
In education matters it has helped, especially even with the new CBC, with the new system of education in Kenya,
where most of parents don't understand, also the siblings that they're living with, most especially if they're older, they are not aware of the things that are taught in CBC.
Yes, and we've also seen that some of the harm it can cause is, as we said earlier,
addiction.
Addiction,
cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying. Yes, and also things like anxiety. It can also affect mental health. Things like maybe you can be anxious without social media when your phone goes off, or maybe you can feel like we've also seen it has also affected language in kids, like even how they communicate with their parents, because even sometimes children may watch content that maybe it's like it's okay to disrespect your parent, so they will start even disrespecting their own parents.
So you can also say it has caused moral decay, because most of the time you realize the content that is in the social media, it's not always a good content, especially for kids. So most of the time you'll find that your children will start behaving differently from the way they used to behave, because they've emulated a certain person. And most of the time these people are role models, the people that they look up to, and maybe they see the way they dress, the way they speak, and they think that I think this is the perfect way for me to start doing it, so that I can even have followers that these role models have.
Even cursing, like we said, also in language, because we've seen if children are watching content, especially of maybe outside country, because in a lot of African countries, we are not okay with cursing in our language. Yeah, so they might adapt the cursing language. Yes, and you might also find, and you know, children learn faster. Yeah, it's easier for a kid to adapt to something compared to an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I think by allowing them how to use social media, especially if they are unsupervised, this is something that can ruin. It can ruin and it can cause moral decay, like we said earlier.
Yeah. So it's very important if the if the parents regulate the content that their children are watching, and especially even in the mobile phones, the televisions, we have private settings. You can set and make sure that your children or even block some content so that they cannot access them.
Yeah, so it's like know the limit. Limit your children.
Exactly.
Yes, be there to supervise. Be a social media cop for your children.
And also before you allow them, you can also go through the content. If it's a movie, watch the movie first, and then you, after watching and knowing what is in the movie, that is when you allow your children to continue watching the movie.
Yes, because we've also said earlier, also social media affects the children's how they see themselves, and also how it affects their body image. It's like, this is how I'm supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to look like. Because even us as adults, it always affects us. We are always, it's like there's a certain standard on social media of maybe beauty. There's always a certain standard of maybe what beauty is. Yes. So it's like we have to be social media cops for our children.
Yeah, because you know, they are still young. They are not able to filter the content that they consume. They will just watch whatever they come across, whatever they see. And it is good for the parents to regulate the content that your children watch. Also, you should be strict not to give them phone every time they want.
Exactly.
You should tell them that, you know what, there's time for everything, there's time for social life. You can go out and play with your children. Nowadays, they don't play the way they used to play, or the way we used to play. You can remember we will play kati, soccer. Nowadays, they play soccer, football, but on their phones. They don't go and play football.
Yeah, so it's like their social life. It has been killed, like physical social life. It's something that they can't connect to it easily. But social media, we can also see that social media has also helped them to connect with other people. Yes. And also other relatives and friends, but it's only on the screen. It's like it's something on the screen. And this is something that, can we also say that if you want to manage your children or your kids' social media usage, you can also take them out and engage maybe in activities like hiking, swimming, something that is physical.
But and you've well said, Emma. There's something that you said, because most of the time you'll find that children decide to use phones because maybe their parents are absent. They don't have people to talk to. Most of the time they are lonely, and that is why they look for ways that they can come out of boredom or things that are making them unhappy, and they find solace in their phones. And that is why most of the children will find that social media makes them happy. When they are using apps like TikTok, they are always smiling. But when they are with their parents, they look like they are bored. And like they don't even understand what their parents are saying.
It's like they're just waiting, let this session be over so that I can use the phone, or maybe I can be on the screen.
And sometimes maybe even when their parents are talking to them, they're still intact on their phones. They don't care about what their parents are saying in that particular time. Whatever their parents are saying is not important at all.
Yes, and we've also seen that due to this also a lot of kids, due to addiction, they have been affected by maybe their sleep has been disrupted. So it's like their sleep patterns has been destroyed, and a lot of kids are not having enough sleep. Because, you know, a normal kid should be able to sleep for long hours, but nowadays the kids, you find them even at 2 a.m. They're still on their phone. and they are watching stuff. They're on TikTok, maybe they're on Facebook, they are doing something, they are on YouTube, they're watching something. So it's like the sleep patterns has been destroyed, and also children, remember this is the same kid who is supposed to be in school at maybe 8 a.m. Yeah,
but at 2 a.m. they're still up. And also social media is not bad at all.
Yes.
Yes, we focus, we've seen the negative effects on social media, but also it has been used as a platform where children use to showcase their talents.
Yes.
And in the process, they get likes, they get followers, and in return, they earn a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's also a source of income for some parents.
And also for some children. And also I think it also helps a lot of children realize their talent or even be able to share their talent with the world. Because we've seen some children, they are good at dancing, and maybe their dancing has been able to be marketed. We can say
Through
something like that through the phone. And also they can even have a following, and they can be role models to even other younger children.
And also it boosts their confidence at an early age compared to if you wait until you're a teenager or an adult.
I also think it's true. And we've also seen that some of the ways you can limit social media use for your kids, it's like just be a social media cop, like manage your children's screen time. Be able to be there also. I mean, view the content before you give it to your children. And also we've seen you can also take your children out, take them out, be able to engage with them like in physical activities, maybe things like hiking, swimming, different kind of activities, so that they can also do something physically and also meet new people. Because as they are playing around in the swimming pool, they'll be able to meet other kids
and they will have
interact
a social
with them.
Life.
Yes. So I think the topic is huge, and social media doesn't only affect our kids; it affects everyone. I mean, if you're living by now, if you're living on this earth currently, you are affected by social media, and a lot of stuff that is ongoing even and happening in the world, it's because of social media. So we can say that technology, if it's used in the right way, it brings more benefit to the society compared to if it's used in a bad way. It can damage the society also.
And not only in children, but also
in the world, like
in the
adults, every human being.
It affects everyone, because I've seen people who say that social media ruined my marriage.
Yes.
Social media has ruined my education. I wasn't able to have good grades because I spend a lot of time on the internet doing things that were not important, or doing things that did not contribute to me doing well in my studies.
Yes, so we can see that this is a huge topic, and I believe that we are going to continue with it. But we have to go, we have to respect time. It's time for us to go, but you're going to be seeing us on your screen every Monday to Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. And remember, you can also continue interacting with us on our social media handles, Faraja TV Kenya, that's on Facebook, Faraja TV Media, YouTube, Faraja.tv.media on TikTok, and Faraja_TV_Kenya on Instagram. Our SMS line is on the screen. I have been your host, Emma Bonareti.
And I am Vicky Kipto. It was nice having you on board. Have a good day.
Ciao.
Faraja TV, Chemi Chemi ya Furaha.
Well, What is lifestyle? To me, lifestyle is the people, it's entertainment, it's food, it's beauty, it's fashion, it's music, and it's art. So how do you get to deal with these big topics that are affecting our society? Well, worry no more, because I, Sharon Gige, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m, I'll be bringing you amazing guests, and they'll be able to give us solutions on how to handle these big and disturbing topics at Faraja TV Kenya and all our social media platforms. Thank you.
Yo, welcome guys to the biggest and most exciting show in the 254, where we bring you exciting topics, great music, your favorite artists, and good times.
Join us each and every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Faraja Mashup. It's your boy Big Man Kyuga.
And your boy Big Willie, aka the Big Kahuna.
Kwa majina ni John Mragori,